Hello and welcome everyone to another edition of the Leaderboard Spotlight presented by The Morning Chalk Up. I'm your host, Tommy Marquez, and I hope you guys didn't struggle as much as I did with the strict handstand push-ups in 19.3. But now that we're through 3 weeks of the Open, we get to officially start our bubble watch, and today we're going to focus on some of the athletes that are in danger of missing out on one of those coveted qualifying spots through the Open. And for both the men and women, I've included a projected cut line range depending on whether or not there's 2 or potentially 3 scored workouts remaining in the final 2 weeks. We're going to start with the women first. So here are the women that are outside the bubble that aren't in a national champion spot. And we've listed what they would need placement-wise based on their current points and placings to get on the right side of the cut line. There's a ton of big names, but last year's Open champ and 10th place at the Games, Cassidy Lance McWhirter needs a second place finish or better in the remaining workouts to climb back above the bubble. But if there's an extra scored workout involved, then she gets a little bit more breathing room points-wise and stands a better shot at making it back above the cut line. For the men's side, the cut line sits down after one Mr. Rich Froning down in 30th place, and here are the notables who are going to need some help over these next 2 weeks in particular. 2 podium hopefuls at the Games in Brent Fikowski and Noah Olson, who are both already past the projected points cut line, so they basically need a first place, and that's why it's listed next to them, because they need as high a place as possible, and they'll also need some help in the form of some athletes ahead of them starting to falter in maybe one or both of these workouts. For all of these athletes that are currently outside of the top 50 worldwide, historically speaking, the outlook isn't so good. The Morning Chalk Up published a stat that I absolutely love. Only 6 times in the history of the Open has an athlete outside of the top 50 after week 3 managed to get themselves back into the top 30, which is about where the cut line sits right about now. Consider this though, we also don't know how many scored workouts are left in the remaining 2 weeks. If by chance we get a 2-for-1 in either week 4 or week 5, then the possibility increases that one of these athletes can climb themselves back up the leaderboard with a string of strong performances. So keep your eyes on all of these athletes as workouts and scores start to become known in the remaining 2 weeks, and we'll keep you guys updated on all the bubble watch as we hit the home stretch in week number 5. That does it for this edition of the Leaderboard Spotlight presented by the Morning Chalk Up. Best of luck in 19.4. We'll see you guys next week.